when everything falls apart.
What happens when life takes away everything you thought you needed? Your plans, your comfort, your certainty, the future you carefully imagined, the life you believed was permanent. Can a person still find hope when everything else is gone? Because sooner or later, life asks every one of us the same question. Who are you when everything familiar disappears? When life changes without warning. Most people believe happiness depends on circumstances, a successful career, financial security, a loving family, good health, a comfortable routine. We spend years building a life, brick by brick, dream by dream, believing tomorrow will look much like today. But life doesn't always ask for permission before it changes. Sometimes, a single phone call changes everything. A diagnosis, a loss, a broken relationship, an unexpected setback,
Or a dream that quietly slips away. The storm nobody expects. One ordinary morning can become the day your entire world changes. The job you depended on is suddenly gone. The person you loved walks away. The plans you spent years creating disappear overnight. In those moments, it feels as though the ground beneath your feet has vanished. Pain doesn't knock politely. It arrives unexpectedly, and it changes everything. The illusion of control. As human beings, we naturally seek certainty. We make plans, we set goals, we imagine how life should unfold. There's nothing wrong with dreaming or preparing for the future. But one of life's greatest lessons is realizing we cannot control everything. The more tightly we try to hold on to certainty, the more painful unexpected change can feel. Pain is part of the human story. No one escapes hardship. Every life, no matter how successful it appears, contains moments of heartbreak, failure, disappointment, loneliness, loss. Pain is not proof that life is unfair. It is proof that we are human. Every person you admire has walked through storms that no one else could see. The hidden opportunity. When everything falls apart, we usually ask, why is this happening to me? But perhaps a better question is, what is this experience trying to teach me? Challenges often reveal strengths that comfort never could.
Patience, compassion, courage, resilience. Sometimes life must break our old identity before it can build a stronger one. A new beginning hidden in the darkness. History is filled with people who discovered their purpose only after everything familiar was taken away. Their greatest achievements were born from their greatest struggles. Not because suffering is good, but because suffering can awaken a strength we never knew we possessed. Sometimes, the ending you fear most becomes the beginning you needed most. Reflection. Think back to the hardest season of your life. At the time, it may have felt unbearable, unfair,
Impossible! But look at who you are today. More compassionate, more patient, more resilient. The storm didn't only challenge you, it transformed you. Life will change. Plans will change. People will change. Circumstances will change. That is part of being alive. The question isn't whether pain will arrive. The question is, who will you become when it does? Because sometimes our darkest moments become the doorway to our brightest future. In the next chapter, we'll discover the one freedom that no circumstance, no loss, and no hardship can ever take away. And that freedom has the power to change everything.
Scene 2, the one thing nobody can take.
What if your greatest freedom cannot be taken away?
Not by failure, not by loss, not by fear, not even by life's darkest moments. What if the most powerful part of you has always been untouchable? Life has the power to take many things from us. Our possessions, our careers, our financial security, our routines, even the people we love. Sometimes it can feel as though everything we built has disappeared. But no matter how difficult life becomes, there is one thing that always remains. Between every event and every reaction, there is a small space, a moment, a choice, a decision. It may only last a few seconds, but within that moment lies incredible power. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. Imagine two people facing the exact same setback. Both lose their jobs, both experience disappointment, both feel uncertainty. One decides this is the end. They surrender to hopelessness. Fear controls every decision. They stop believing in themselves. The other person says, this is painful, but this is not the end of my story. They begin learning, growing, searching for new opportunities. The circumstances were identical. The response was different. And that difference changed their future. Every challenge presents two paths. One leads toward resentment. The other, growth. One says, why me? The other asks, what can I learn? One waits for life to become easier. The other becomes stronger. Your response today creates your reality tomorrow.
Strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is choosing hope while walking through pain. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing action even when fear is present. Peace is not found in perfect circumstances. It is found in the decision to remain grounded no matter what happens around you. Real freedom begins the moment you stop allowing circumstances to decide who you become. Hell, you cannot stop the waves. You cannot control the wind. You cannot predict every storm. But you can learn how to sail, how to adjust your course, how to keep moving forward. The strongest sailors are not those who avoid storms. They are the ones who learn to navigate through them. Think about a challenge you're facing today. You may not have chosen it. You may not understand it. You may wish it had never happened. But one choice still belongs to you. How will you respond? That single decision may shape the rest of your life. Life can take comfort. It can take certainty. It can take possessions. It can take opportunities. But it cannot take
your ability to choose. Every moment, you hold the power to choose courage, to choose hope, to choose kindness, to choose purpose. Because your future is not determined by what happens to you. It is determined by how you respond. In the next chapter, we'll discover why people who have a clear purpose can endure challenges that once seemed impossible. Because meaning has the power to carry us through even the darkest seasons.
Scene 3. Meaning gives strength. People can endure incredible hardship when they have a reason to continue, a reason to wake up, a reason to keep walking, a reason to believe that tomorrow can still be better than today. When purpose is strong, even the heaviest burden becomes easier to carry. There comes a moment in every difficult season when the body feels tired, the mind becomes overwhelmed, and the heart begins to question, can I keep going? In those moments, talent is not enough. Intelligence is not enough. Even determination can begin to fade. But purpose has the power to keep a person moving long after strength begins to disappear. Think about a parent working long hours, not because it's easy, but because they dream of giving their children a better future. Think about an artist who spends years creating without recognition because they believe that their work can inspire someone. Think about a teacher who pours their heart into every lesson, or a doctor who stays awake through the night to save a life. What keeps them going? Purpose. Meaning transforms effort into devotion. When life becomes difficult, purpose becomes fuel for the soul. It whispers, keep going. Someone needs you. Your story isn't over yet. Your work still matters. Purpose gives strength when energy is gone. It creates hope when the future feels uncertain. It inspires courage when fear tries to take control. A person with a clear why can survive almost anyhow. Many people simply exist. They wake up, go through the motions, repeat the same routine, and wait for the weekend. Those who discover purpose live differently. Every sunrise becomes an opportunity. Every challenge becomes meaningful. Every setback becomes a lesson. Truth hit. Purpose doesn't remove pain. It gives pain a reason. Many people spend their lives chasing success. More money, more recognition, more possessions. But eventually, they discover something surprising. Success without purpose still feels empty. Purpose fills the places that success never can. Truth hit. The richest life isn't measured by what you own. It's measured by what you contribute. Sometimes purpose is found not in achieving great things, but in helping one person, offering kindness, listening without judgment, encouraging someone who has lost hope. Small acts often create the biggest impact. Truth here. A meaningful life is built one meaningful action at a time. Ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? Who depends on your courage? What dream still calls your name? What gift has the world been waiting for you to share? Your answers may become your greatest source of strength, because purpose doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you become. Life will test you. It'll challenge your patience, your faith, your courage, and your determination. But if your purpose remains clear, you will always find another reason to take one more step, one more breath, one more chance. Because meaning is the invisible strength that carries ordinary people through extraordinary hardships. In the next chapter, we'll discover why pain is not the end of the story, and how life's greatest struggles can become our greatest teachers. Sometimes, the path through suffering leads us to wisdom we could never have found any other way.
Scene 4. Pain is part of life.
No one escapes suffering. No amount of success, no amount of wealth, no amount of preparation can completely protect us from life's difficult seasons. But while pain is unavoidable, being defeated by it is not. Every person you admire has faced moments when life felt unbearably heavy. Loss, failure, disappointment, grief, loneliness, uncertainty. These experiences do not choose their victims. They visit every human life. Pain is not a sign that you are weak. It is a reminder that you are human. Imagine a mighty tree
Standing through decades of storms, every powerful wind, every heavy rain, every season of hardship leaves its mark. Yet those same storms force its roots to grow deeper, stronger, more resilient. Without the storm, the roots would never discover their true strength. Pain has incredible power, not because suffering itself is good, but because it reveals who we choose to become. Some people allow pain to fill them with bitterness, anger, resentment. They begin believing the world is turned against them. Others walk through the same pain, yet emerge with greater compassion, greater patience, greater understanding. The same fire that melts wax can also strengthen steel. Every painful experience places us at a crossroads. One path whispers, close your heart. Trust no one. Give up. The other path quietly says, grow. Forgive. Keep loving. Keep believing. Pain always asks a question. Your response becomes the answer. Hey, y'all. Think about the people who have changed your life. The wisest teacher, the kindest mentor, the strongest leader. Many of them did not become extraordinary because life was easy. They became extraordinary because they learned from difficulty. Wisdom rarely grows in seasons of comfort. It grows in seasons of perseverance. Scars are often seen as signs of pain, but they are also proof of healing. Every emotional scar carries a lesson. Every difficult chapter contains hidden strength. One day, the story that once made you cry may become the story that gives someone else hope. Your wounds may become your greatest source of wisdom. Think about one painful experience that changed your life. At the time, you probably wished it had never happened. Yet today, you may recognize how much stronger, kinder, or wiser it helped you become. Sometimes, the greatest lessons wear the disguise of hardship. Pain is part of life. Loss is part of life. Failure is part of life. Grief is part of life. But suffering does not have to define your future. Every challenge presents a choice to become harder or wiser, to become bitter or better. Because pain does not determine who you become. The choices you make in the middle of that pain do. In the next chapter, we will discover why hope is not simply an emotion, but a powerful decision that can carry us through even the darkest nights. Because every sunrise begins after the longest night.
Scene 5. Hope is a decision. Hope isn't waiting. Hope is choosing. It isn't wishful thinking. It isn't denying reality. And it isn't pretending that everything is okay. Hope is the quiet decision to keep moving forward, even when you cannot yet see the finish line. Hope begins in the darkness. Many people believe hope appears only after life gets better, after the pain ends, after the problems disappear, after success finally arrives. But real hope doesn't wait for perfect circumstances. It is born in the middle of uncertainty. Hope shines brightest not under clear skies, but during life's darkest nights. A small light can defeat great darkness. Imagine walking through a dense forest late at night. You cannot see the end of the path. The road ahead is hidden. Every sound feels unfamiliar. Now, imagine holding a small lantern. The light doesn't reveal the entire journey. It only illuminates the next few steps.
And yet, those few steps are enough to keep moving. Hope works the same way, choosing belief over fear. Every challenge presents two voices. One whispers, "Give up. You'll never make it. Nothing will ever change." The other voice is quieter, but stronger. It says, "Take one more step. Keep believing. This chapter is not your whole story." Hope is choosing which voice you will listen to. The future is still being written. There are moments when life feels unfinished. Dreams seem delayed. Doors remain closed. Answers refuse to appear. In those moments, it is easy to believe nothing good lies ahead. But remember, you are reading only one chapter, not the entire book.
Today's struggle is not the end of your story. Hope creates momentum. People often wait to feel confident before taking action. They wait for certainty, for perfect timing, for fear to disappear. But hope teaches something different. Action comes first. Confidence follows. Movement creates momentum. The road appears as you continue walking, not before. Every sunrise starts in darkness. Think about the sunrise. It never arrives without first passing through night. The darkest hour often comes just before dawn. Life follows the same pattern. Your greatest breakthrough may be closer than you realize. Never mistake a temporary night for a permanent darkness. Ask yourself, what dream have you almost given up on? What challenge has convinced you to stop believing? What would happen if you chose hope just one more time? One decision, one step, one act of courage can completely change your future. Hope is not an emotion. It is a decision to believe that healing is possible, growth is possible, new beginnings are possible, even when you cannot yet see them. Hope does not erase difficulty. It gives you the strength to walk through it. Because the people who eventually reach the sunrise are often the ones who refuse to stop walking in the dark. In the next chapter, we'll explore one of the greatest forces that gives people the courage to endure life's hardest moments: the extraordinary power of love. Because sometimes the strongest reason to keep moving forward isn't found within ourselves, but in the people we care about.
Scene 6, the power of love.
Love can give strength, even across great distance, even through silence, even through loss, even through life's greatest challenges. Because true love is not measured by how close people stand, but by how deeply they live in each other's hearts. Love is more than an emotion. When people hear the word love, they often think of feelings, affection, romance, happiness. But real love goes much deeper. It is found in sacrifice,
in patience, in forgiveness, in choosing another person's well-being, even when it costs something. Love is not only something we feel, it is something we choose. Love gives us a reason to continue. Think of a parent working tirelessly every day to provide a better future for their children. Think of a friend who stays beside you when everyone else walks away. Think of someone who quietly sacrifices without expecting recognition. What gives them that strength? Love. Love transforms ordinary people into extraordinary human beings. Love travels beyond distance. Sometimes the people we love cannot be beside us. Life creates distance. Different cities, different countries, different circumstances. And sometimes the separation is even deeper. A cherished memory.
A farewell. Someone who now lives only in our hearts. Yet somehow, their love continues to guide us. Real love doesn't disappear when people are apart. It becomes part of who we are. Love inspires courage. Many of the bravest decisions in life are made because of love. A firefighter rushing into danger. A nurse caring for patients through long nights. A parent sacrificing comfort so their child can dream bigger. A stranger helping another without expecting anything in return. Love gives people the courage to do what fear says is impossible. When love becomes your motivation, fear begins to lose its power. Love creates meaning. Life becomes more meaningful when we stop asking, what can I gain? And begin asking, how can I serve? Love changes our focus from ourselves to others, from taking to giving, from surviving to truly living. A life filled with love is a life filled with purpose.
Love leaves a lasting legacy. At the end of life, people rarely remember the size of a paycheck or the title on a business card. They remember the kindness they received, the encouragement they were given, the people who believed in them, the moments when someone chose love over selfishness. Love is the one investment that continues to grow long after we are gone. Reflection. Think about someone
Who changed your life simply by believing in you? Perhaps they encouraged you when you wanted to quit, forgave you when you made mistakes, loved you when you struggled to love yourself. Their love may still be guiding your decisions today. Core message. Love is more than emotion. It is strength. It is sacrifice. It is compassion. It is courage. Even when people are separated, love continues to inspire, to heal, to guide, and to give life meaning. Final truth hit. Because the greatest force
that moves the human heart is not fear, not success, not power.
It is love. In the next chapter, we'll discover another life-changing truth that while we cannot always control our circumstances, we can always choose our attitude. And sometimes that single choice changes everything. Scene 7. Choosing your attitude.
Circumstances shape your environment, but your attitude shapes your life. It shapes your decisions, your relationships, your future. You may not always control what happens around you, but you will always have influence over what happens within you. Every morning, life places new circumstances before us. Some are joyful, some are unexpected. Some test every ounce of our strength. A missed opportunity, an unexpected setback, a difficult conversation, a season of uncertainty. These moments are part of being human. The event itself does not define the day. Your response to it often does. Every challenge silently asks us a question. Will you choose bitterness or gratitude? Fear or courage? Despair or determination? Resentment or forgiveness? The choices we make repeatedly become the person we eventually become. Attitude is not pretending that pain doesn't exist. It is not forced optimism or ignoring reality. A healthy attitude says, this is difficult, but I refuse to let this difficulty define me. I may not control this moment, but I can control my next decision. That quiet choice is where true strength begins. Imagine two climbers standing before the same mountain. The path is steep. The weather is cold. The climb is exhausting. One climber focuses only on how impossible the journey seems.
Every obstacle becomes another reason to quit. The other climber faces the very same mountain, but chooses a different attitude. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every step becomes progress. The mountain never changed. The mindset did. And that changed everything. One of the most powerful attitudes is gratitude. Not because life is perfect, but because even imperfect days contain something worth appreciating. A kind word, a sunrise, a helping hand, a lesson learned, a second chance. Gratitude doesn't ignore hardship. It reminds us that hardship isn't the whole story. People often believe courage means never feeling afraid. But courage is something much simpler. It is showing up even when you were uncertain. Speaking kindly even after you've been hurt. Trying again after failure. Believing when doubt grows louder. Courage isn't one extraordinary act. It is a series of ordinary choices made consistently. Life becomes difficult. What attitude do you usually choose? Do you focus on what you've lost or on what you still have? Do you allow fear to make your decisions or do you let hope lead the way? Your attitude today
is quietly creating your tomorrow. You cannot always control circumstances. You can't control every storm, every loss, every disappointment. But every single day, you can choose gratitude over bitterness, hope over despair, courage over fear, purpose over resignation. Because your attitude can't erase difficulty, but it can completely transform the way you walk through it. In the next chapter, we'll explore how life's greatest challenges often become the source of our greatest growth. Because sometimes the strongest version of yourself is waiting on the other side of adversity.
Scene 8. Growth through adversity.
Some of life's greatest lessons are not learned in moments of comfort or in seasons of success. They are learned in the moments
When life tests us the most, because adversity is often life's greatest teacher. No one volunteers for hardship. No one wishes for failure, loss, or disappointment. Yet time and time again, these difficult seasons become the moments that shape us forever. Life's hardest lessons often become life's greatest blessings. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Anyone can stay positive when everything goes according to plan. But true character is revealed when plans fall apart, when doors close, when hope feels distant, when no one is watching. Pressure doesn't create character. It reveals the character that was quietly growing within you. Imagine 2 trees. One grows inside a protected greenhouse. It never feels strong winds, never faces heavy rain, never struggles. The other tree stands on an open hillside. It endures storms, powerful winds, scorching summers, freezing winters. Which tree develops deeper roots? Which tree becomes stronger? The one
That face the storm. Many people underestimate themselves until life asks more of them. They don't realize how resilient they are, how courageous they can become, how much they can endure. Then one difficult season arrives, and suddenly they discover abilities they never knew existed. Sometimes your greatest strength remains hidden until adversity calls it forward. Have you ever noticed how an eagle flies? It doesn't fear strong winds. It uses them. The very force that pushes other birds down helps the eagle rise higher. Your challenges can become the wind beneath your wings if you choose to rise with them. Every meaningful kind of growth requires resistance. Muscles grow stronger by lifting weight. Wisdom grows deeper through experience.
Confidence grows by facing fear. Life follows the same principle. Without resistance, growth remains incomplete. The obstacle is often the opportunity. There may come a day when you look back on the hardest chapter of your life, not with anger, but with gratitude. Because you'll realize that season prepared you for everything that came next. Sometimes the road that almost broke you is the same road that built you. Think about a challenge you never wanted to face. What did it teach you? Did it make you stronger? More compassionate? More patient? More grateful? Sometimes the greatest gifts arrive wrapped in difficulty. Growth rarely announces itself. It quietly happens while you're learning to keep going. Pressure reveals character. Challenges uncover hidden strength. Failures teach resilience. Storms deepen our roots. The strongest trees grow through the fiercest storms. And the strongest people often emerge from life's greatest trials. Never believe that your struggle is meaningless. It may be preparing you to become the person you were always meant to be. In the next chapter, we'll discover why a meaningful life isn't measured by what we achieve for ourselves, but by what we contribute to others. Because sometimes the greatest purpose is found in lifting someone else. Scene 9, living beyond yourself. The happiest lives are often not the ones that receive the most, but the ones that give the most. Because a life focused only on itself eventually feels empty. But a life lived for others leaves a legacy. Every person wants to feel that their life matters, that their presence makes a difference, that someone is better because they were here. This desire lives within every human heart. Purpose grows stronger when it becomes bigger than ourselves. Many people believe changing the world requires extraordinary achievements, fame, power, or wealth. But history tells a different story. Sometimes a smile changes a stranger's day. A kind word restores someone's confidence. A helping hand lifts a heavy burden. A listening ear gives hope to a lonely heart. Never underestimate the power of simple kindness. Imagine planting a single seed. At first, it seems insignificant, small, almost invisible. But with time, that seed becomes a tree, offering shade, fruit, shelter, life. Every act of service is like planting a seed whose impact may outlive you. Something remarkable happens when we stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, who can I help today? How focus shifts. Pain becomes lighter. Hope grows stronger. The heart begins to heal. Sometimes the fastest way to lift your own spirit is to lift someone else's. Years from now, people may forget the car you drove, the house you lived in, or the title you held, but they will remember how you made them feel, the encouragement you offered, the kindness you showed, the hope you inspired. A meaningful life is measured not by what you collected, but by what you gave away. Many people carry painful experiences, loss, failure, heartbreak, disappointment. Those experiences can remain silent burdens, or they can become sources of compassion, wisdom, and encouragement for others. Your greatest struggle may one day become someone else's greatest source of hope. Ask yourself, whose life can you brighten today? Who needs encouragement? Who needs forgiveness? Who needs someone to simply listen? Purpose is rarely found by looking inward alone. It grows when we reach out. Every act of kindness creates a ripple far beyond what we can see. Purpose grows when we serve. Kindness multiplies. Compassion heals. Generosity inspires.
Contribution transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary meaning, and suffering into significance. Because in the end, the richest life is not the one that keeps the most. It is the one that gives the most. In the final chapter, we'll discover that meaning isn't something we find just once. It's something we create every single day. Because every sunrise offers another opportunity to live with purpose. Every day has meaning.
Meaning isn't found once. It's created every single day. Not through one extraordinary moment, but through thousands of ordinary choices. A meaningful life is not built overnight. It is built one purposeful day at a time. Each sunrise brings something priceless. A fresh beginning, a new opportunity, another chance to become the person you want to be. Yesterday may have held mistakes, regrets, missed opportunities, disappointments, but today is unwritten. Every new day is life quietly saying, you get another chance. Many people spend their lives waiting for one big purpose, one defining moment, one life-changing opportunity. But purpose rarely arrives with fireworks.
Instead, it grows quietly. One honest decision, one act of integrity, one promise kept, one person encouraged. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary lives. Words are powerful. They can heal, or they can wound. They can inspire, or discourage. A few sincere words can restore someone's confidence. A simple "I believe in you" can change the direction of another person's life. Never underestimate the lasting impact of everyday kindness. People often imagine courage as one dramatic act, a heroic moment, a fearless decision. But real courage usually looks much quieter. Getting out of bed after a difficult season, trying again after failure, choosing forgiveness instead of resentment, continuing to hope when answers haven't arrived. Courage grows, one decision at a time. Many people believe their purpose exists somewhere in the distant future, after they become successful, after they earn more, after life becomes easier.
But purpose isn't waiting at the finish line. It walks beside you every single day. In your family, your work, your friendships, your choices. Purpose isn't something you discover once. It's something you practice daily. Imagine building a beautiful cathedral. It isn't completed in one afternoon or with one perfect stone. It is built brick by brick, day after day, patiently, faithfully, with care. Your life is built the same way. Every choice places another brick in the foundation of your future. Ask yourself, how will you use today? Who can you encourage? What fear can you face? What kindness can you offer? What dream can you move one step closer to? Meaning isn't created by waiting for extraordinary days. It is created by making ordinary days extraordinary. Every choice matters. Every act of courage matters. Every word of kindness matters. Every moment of compassion matters. Life's purpose is not hidden in some distant future. It is built one meaningful conversation, one courageous decision, one selfless act, one faithful day at a time. Because in the end, a meaningful life is simply a collection of meaningful days. In our final chapter, we'll bring together every lesson we've learned and discover the timeless truth that no matter what life takes away, it can never take away your ability to choose a life filled with meaning.
Scene 11, Final Transformation. The greatest victory is not avoiding suffering. It is discovering meaning through it. Because pain may visit every life, but purpose decides whether that pain becomes the end of your story or the beginning of your transformation. Life will always change. No one walks through life without challenges. There will be seasons of unexpected loss, moments of uncertainty,
dreams that don't unfold as planned, doors that suddenly close, questions without immediate answers. None of us can completely escape life's storms, but every storm carries within it the possibility of becoming someone stronger. Your circumstances do not define you. The world often measures people by what happens to them: success, failure, wealth, loss, recognition, or hardship. But the true measure of a life
is found elsewhere. It is revealed in the choices we make when life becomes difficult. Circumstances may shape your surroundings, but your response shapes your destiny. 3 lights that never go out. Throughout every chapter of life, 3 quiet lights continue to guide us: hope, purpose, love. Hope whispers, keep walking. Purpose reminds us your life still matters. Love gently says, you are never truly alone. These 3 forces can carry a person through even the darkest valley. The greatest freedom. There is one gift that no hardship can completely take away. Not failure, not loss, fear, not uncertainty.
it is the freedom
To choose
your attitude, your purpose, your next step, and the meaning you give to every experience. When everything else feels beyond your control, this choice still belongs to you. Every experience can become a teacher. Nothing you have lived through needs to be wasted. Every setback can teach resilience. Every failure can teach wisdom. Every heartbreak can deepen compassion. Every challenge can reveal hidden strength. One day, you may realize that the experiences you once wished to erase were quietly preparing you for the life you were meant to live. Meaning is not found by escaping difficulty. It is created by growing through it. Take a moment to look back at your own journey. The victories, the losses, the unanswered prayers, the unexpected blessings, the people who stood beside you, the moments that changed you forever. Every chapter has been shaping the person you are becoming. Life will bring challenges, unexpected loss, pain, uncertainty. Those moments do not define you. Your response defines you. Hope is stronger than fear. Purpose is stronger than pain. Love is stronger than despair. The greatest freedom any human being possesses is the freedom to choose. To choose courage instead of surrender. Gratitude instead of bitterness. Compassion instead of resentment. Purpose instead of hopelessness.
When life asks its hardest questions, may your answer always be courage. May your answer always be hope. May your answer always be love. And may every challenge become another step toward a life filled with meaning. Because in the end, a meaningful life is not measured by how long we live or by how much we own. It is measured by the hope we inspire, the love we share, the courage we choose, and the lives we quietly make better.